Hey there folks, welcome to the video. It's General Notice where we fire off into the week by talking about what's going on this channel and what's going on elsewhere in the world of motorsport. Let's get right into it, shall we? And we'll start off with this channel. Review for IndyCar at Barber coming out tomorrow, then Martinsville for NASCAR in the next couple of days, as well as WEC predictions. Over the weekend, expect a preview for WRC in Croatia. And then I've got a couple of slots. I might do something April Fool's Eve. I haven't for a number of years though, so probably not. At the same time, Easter weekend, I might choose a little bit to talk about the stuff in F1 at the moment, rule change discussions, and the Behrman crash, because those are quite hot button things which I'd like to do as their own video, especially now that I'm going to get the chance to. Though at the same time, I also have to manage the fact that, well, we have no Saudi Arabia Grand Prix and no Bahrain Grand Prix, both of which we're going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, which puts another spanner in the works when it comes to my my video planning. Luckily, in some ways it doesn't, because at the same time, those were ones where it was potentially going to be double headers with, say, Long Beach or WRC in Croatia. I think BTCC next week is doing a pre-season event thing, so I might pop around for that. I haven't fully committed to that yet. It just looks what my schedule looks like. So on to the world of motorsport. We'll start off with someone who's got a bit of a scheduling headache coming up. Max Verstappen is thought to be seriously considering his F1 future. I've seen articles about this. I've got a push notification from BBC Sport about this, and the race is saying that, well, they've got a bit more of the rundown. Supposedly, the opt-out that he had rumoured last year to look at other teams if he was outside of the top 2 or top 3 in the championship is top 2 in the championship, and he could just walk away entirely at the end of this year. The race understands that this window closes in October, so he has the next 6 months really, and he's got a month off in which to think about, what do I want to do next? They point out that Verstappen is currently 9th in the championship. He doesn't like the rule set. He doesn't like the 50-50 part of it. A lot of drivers don't. But at the same time, if you're watching another team go off and dominate, and you've had either the dominant car or one of the dominant cars, especially for most of your career, you're going to feel a bit annoyed. Especially when you get outperformed by your teammate who's in his sophomore season, and even somebody in the junior team who's a rookie. Like, Verstappen's not had the greatest of starts this year. He doesn't really like the way that the cars drive, and he's found a new passion in those GT3s. I'd completely understand him walking away. And to be honest, I think I said this in my Grand Prix review video, I'd actually in a way welcome it. I think F1, where you've got 22 slots that don't often change. I mean, we've had a couple of times now where it's basically been no changes. Did we have one year where there was, like, no change season to season? It should have more rotation in F1. WRC gets more rotation, and it's got, at most, 10 seats. Granted, Toyota has been relentlessly consistent, but look at Hyundai over the last couple of years. Look at M Sport. It is possible to get that rotation in. And it would be nice to see a rotation talent. It would be nice to see, like, maybe Lindblad get promoted into the racing, from the Racing Bulls into the Red Bull. Verstappen could go off and do his own things. I think that he would be somebody who now has the best chance of the Triple Crown. He has an interest in running in different sports. The only thing is, I don't know if he has an interest in the Indy 500, or, moreover, I don't think he has an interest in the 500 and the level of practice that goes into it. I mean, look at when Alonso went for it. Yeah, he got Rookie of the Year the first year, but that was pretty much by default. He took a Rookie of the Year with his Honda doing, well, what his Hondas in F1 did, and blowing up. Kyle Larson even, and I would say, I mean, it would seem like a hot take at the time, but at the time where Larson said that he thought he was better than Verstappen, I think that he made a very good case for himself. Now, no, I think Max is probably the best in the world right now. Most versatile, most adaptive. But that's just because, he's in F1 and he can also be good in GT3s. We're not seeing anybody else doing that at the moment. If, say, Hulk went to Le Mans again and won again, then Hulk would obviously be in the conversation a little bit. Apologies for rocking my monitor there. But, I don't know. Let me know what you think on that one, whilst we did this. Because, in my pre-season prediction, I'm glad that I only made this one prediction in WRC. It was one that was most likely going to be wrong in one way or another, but I did expect to be wrong in both cases. Rally Argentina could be back next year. We could see El Condor back in the WRC. That would be wonderful. Both Rally GB and Rally Argentina left the calendar in 2019. According to Dirtfish, there's been no official comment, but we're looking at a long-term deal potentially starting next year. Chile's deal concludes the end of the season, from Dirtfish's understanding. It would be interesting the way that the calendar shakes up. If we look at the 2026 WRC calendar, there are multiple events that do not have a contract for next year. And this is the thing, is WRC, compared to F1, doesn't tend to do long-term deals. The Saudi one, that 10 years one, which is basically baked as a finale for the next decade, that is unprecedented. Especially because they did that without a candidate event having been run. They managed to agree a 10-year deal without ever there having been a Rally Saudi Arabia. But, yeah. We already know some things that are happening for next year. We know that Sardinia's gone, being replaced by Rally de Roma Capital. We know that the Safari's in its last year of contract. We know that Islas Canarias has signed a new contract, hasn't it? That was another prediction that I might have gotten wrong. I don't know what the situation is for Japan. But obviously, we've got to return to Britain with Scotland. There have been rumours for years now about a rally in America, and I believe Tennessee is hosting a candidate event this year. Don't know if we'd likely see, say, an Estonia being rotated out, or Croatia again. Or heck, even something more classic like an Acropolis. I think most likely, expect to see, say, a Chile swapped out for an Argentina. But the thing is, for me, WRC has to be a World Championship. We've now had a number of years without Mexico, so we need a North American round. We need to keep around in Asia. So, if that's Japan or if we move elsewhere. Got a round in the Middle East. First time in a decade. 15 years, really, wasn't it? Jordan was 2011 before Saudi Arabia came in. Got the Safari for Africa. I think that we need a return to Australasia. Either Australia or New Zealand, or a rotation of the two. Double it up with Japan. It'd be nice to see a North American round. I like Mexico. If we see a return to the US, and you part of the US, that would also be interesting. Or even a return to Canada. That would be interesting as well. Anyways, we'll wrap it up by talking about some GT racing and some new GT cars. Firstly, Merc have unveiled the next generation GT3, and I believe it's based on, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's based on I think concept car, isn't it? It looks aggressive. It looks like a blend of, from what you can see from the previews, the Aston Martin, advantage, with a little bit of kind of DBRS9 with the headlights. It looks a little bit like the new Toyota concept. Apparently, it's going to have a V8, and I'm here for it. Another new GT3, especially because when was the Evo pack for the Merc? If they'd done an update this decade, I can't really think, to be honest. They must have done some Evo soft updates, like an Evo 2 soft update, but the last I'm aware of is the Evo that came out in 2020. And then a lot of that carries on from the 2015 model, and a lot of it carries over from the SLS. Meanwhile, BMW, and I'm going to briefly talk about this, are hoping that their M3 Touring will be competitive against some GT3s in the Nürburgring 24 this year. And the M3 Touring, the kind of you dreamed it, we built it, where it was like, oh, this is an April Fool's joke that we made real. It is quite an impressive feat of engineering. It is essentially an M4 GT3, but with an estate body. It's like just a souped up version of that old Volvo, or BTCC later had a Honda Civic. I think when I went to go see the BTCC for the first time in 2014, the Civics that were running for Team Dynamics were the estate ones. I seem to remember them being quite good at Thruxton. And of course the Subaru Levorg that did win championships with Ash Sutton. Yeah. At least for tin tops, for GTs and for prototypes, you just look a little bit brighter. I will leave it there, folks, because how long have I been talking for now? It feels like it is over 10 minutes, which is a nice change given that the last few have been quite brief. I know I did a thank you video on Friday, and I do mean it. I don't do many thank you videos now, and the last time that I did a proper run of them was, 22, 23? Away from home quite a bit. Didn't have much time to think. But last weekend I really needed to say it. I don't talk about my personal life, so I'm not gonna really change that at the moment, but last 12 months flat out has been lots of everywhere. So still having this down and release a video every day. I don't sit down and record every single day anymore. I haven't done that for a number of years. Say after this I'm probably going to go and sit down and record the other videos I already know that I'm doing for this week. It's nice to have that routine. Nice to have that understanding of myself. And the cherry on top, the fact that I like to listen to me talk about motorsport. I hope to bring CSRE back. I'm hoping to do other production projects as well. See how much energy I have. But yeah, I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And as always, because it is as always, me, bye for now.